What is up, everybody? Jarrett from Empire of Assets here, and today I am bringing you a video on the different ways to make money in the Pokemon trading card industry, I guess we'll call it. It is an industry after all, but just wanted to run down. I'm going to talk about three major ways that I think the average person can do it. A fourth way we'll get out of the way right away is being a distributor, getting products from the Pokemon company at a less than suggested retail price, then selling those products for retail price, like people do with online stores or something like that. You have to apply to do this. I don't know if it's a license, but it's an application process with another distributor. A long process, a lot of people applying right now, long wait times, probably not really applicable to the average person. So that is why we are going to just jump into the other three ways. Starting off is going to be the safest way and probably the slowest returns, but it's the least risky, and that is going to be sealed investing. Like I have all these Elite Trainer boxes behind me. You would basically buy sealed product at retail prices or any prices. If it's older stuff, it could be more than that, and then keep the product sealed, wait for it to appreciate, and then sell the product down the road, still sealed. This is going to be the safest way to generate money, I guess, make money, appreciate in value. And the reason for that is because the sealed product acts as a sort of portfolio of all the cards together. So the one pack in the box gives you a chance at the good cards in the set, the bad cards in the set, all the cards in the set. It gives you equal, well, not always equal, but it gives you odds at all of those. So if the Charizard, the most expensive chase card in the set, goes up to $1,000, the price of the box has to go up to reflect that increase in price, because each box has a set chance at having that Charizard inside it. Also, the EBTs especially have this sort of display value. I think that is not always thought of. There is a premium just for having the box to show off, and over time the value of the cards in the box matter less and less as there's just less of those boxes and people want to have them, especially with the sort of break culture that is going on right now among the YouTube communities and just the Pokemon community in general. Everybody wants to open vintage stuff, open older stuff. It makes there be less and less of it every day, month, year. There's less sealed stuff, makes the value of the stuff that is still sealed go up and is no longer connected to some of the card values. A good example of this is like some of the older, I believe it's Black and White Plasma Storm or Plasma Freeze. Those Elite Trainer boxes are thousands of dollars, right around 2,000, I think, possibly closer to 3. Not super up to date on the prices, but the value of the cards in that box, while they're pretty good, there's no card that's worth $10,000 that you have a chance at. It's just the box is old. There's not very many of them. There's not very many left. There wasn't very many made in that era, and they are very expensive because of it. They're also older. There's no chance of being reprinted. So that is going to sum up sealed. Moving on to the next thing is going to be buying graded cards like this Charizard, buying them pre-graded, holding it, hoping that they appreciate in value, and then selling them down the road. I don't think this is quite as safe as buying sealed, just because you are betting on the card. Obviously, Wizards of the Coast 1999 base set vintage stuff, it doesn't matter what card you pick, it's probably only going to go up. We could be in a bit of a high market right now, so things could retrace, but stuff like the original Charizard, I just don't see ever going down to nothing or you losing a significant chunk of money. These have fluctuated a lot. This 8 was actually sold on eBay for $1,400 about 3 months ago. It was then returned to me. I don't know if the buyer just didn't want it. He claimed that the product wasn't as described, which I find hard to believe in a graded CGC case. However, card came back to me, then it dipped all the way down to $600, $600 to $800. Now it's kind of back up right around that 1,000 range. They are fluctuating a lot, but buying this is going to probably offer better returns than sealed investing if you pick the right cards. And I definitely do think there are cards that promo cards, for example, you can pretty safely guess some of these cards are going to have good returns, but ultimately you never know what the market's going to do. So higher risk, higher reward in buying singles cards. Also, you could grab the Sailmance here. You can buy just raw cards. You can do the same thing with them. I think graded's probably better if you are just planning on holding the card and then reselling it later, just because buyers know what they're getting. You're not going to buy the card on eBay, get it home, look at it, find out it has a big scratch on the back, and then either have to deal with returning the card or trying to get some of your money back. It's just really hard to tell the condition. That's the whole point of having a graded card, is the graders look at the card for you, give it a grade, and you know what you're getting without looking at the card in person up close. So that's kind of the second way, is going to be just buying cards and hoping they appreciate in value and then selling them later. A little higher risk than buying sealed, a little higher reward if you pick the right card. Also, the risk of you not picking the right card and it going down in value, or just not going up as fast as other cards in the set, or that you could have spent your money on. And then the last way we're going to talk about, I'll bring this whole stack over here. I know you guys have seen this. These are the cards that I want to send to PSA, but that is going to be buying raw cards that are in good shape, sending them off to PSA, getting them graded, and then flipping them. This probably requires the most amount of knowledge out of any of the three different ways, because you have to know by looking at the card, how is it going to grade? Is it worth grading? When you're buying collections from people, you have to know general prices, what cards in the set are worth it, what cards in the set aren't worth it. There's a lot of knowledge and expertise that comes with it. Not saying that it's not easy to learn. It just takes some time. You got to get used to it. But you do have to have that knowledge. However, then I would say that doing the, we're going to call it a sort of forced appreciation, where you're buying the card, you're grading it, so you're forcing it to appreciate in value, similar to if you bought a house on the market that was not in the greatest of shape, you fixed it up, and then you were going to sell it. You're forcing that house to appreciate in value quicker than what the market would normally have it appreciate at. So it takes some knowledge, but if you know what you're doing, I think it's probably safer than buying single cards, and your returns are going to be the highest out of anything possible. You're looking at returns of 2 to 5 to 10x on some cards, depending on what they grade. If you do hit a 10, your returns can be absolutely incredible. As far as the timeline, sealed, obviously stuff's been going crazy now, but you're probably looking at 3 to 5 to 10 years to see any sort of noticeable increase or uptick in value. Obviously right now situation's different. In less than a year, a lot of stuff has doubled or tripled or quadrupled. Buying singles, you're probably also going to be in that similar time range, unless a card really pops off. You're probably looking 1, 3, 5 years down the road. And then looking at the timeline for the sort of forced appreciation model, the grading the cards. Let's grab something besides the Sailmance. Ooh, my probably favorite Pokemon of all time here, Dragonite. I love Dragonite. I had him in the original games that I played down in Pearl. Anyways, besides the point, this sort of forced appreciation model is going to take as long as it takes to get the cards graded. I'm hearing 8 to 10 months for PSA right now. I'm not planning on anything less than a year, being a little bit pessimistic, and then I will be happy when my cards get here earlier than expected, although I would like to have them tomorrow. I just don't think that's going to happen. If you're going with a different grader like CGC or BGS, you could get your stuff back a little bit sooner, but you are looking at the shortest timeline out of any of the three things we talked about, and you're also getting the highest return. I sort of view this segment, this forced appreciation, as its own business, so I am sticking in money now for the next, until my first set of cards gets back, so let's call it 9 months to a year. I will put money in to send off a submission every 3 months. Then once it starts coming back, I will get submissions back every 3 months, and then hopefully increase to every 2 months, every 1 month, every 2 weeks, way down the line maybe. That would be quite something if we ever got to that point, especially with the PSA price increase. But it's sort of more of a business model. I view my sealed collection as more of a stock portfolio, a long-term retirement account style of investing, not something that I'm going to buy and flip so much. As far as the second thing I talked about, I don't do a lot of that. If I do buy cards that I think are hot, I did this with the Rainbow Greninja. Maybe I can put the card I'm talking about up on the screen right here. The Rainbow Greninja card, I bought quite a lot of those. I thought it was an undervalued card. I think Greninja is undervalued as a whole. I will have another video talking about that coming up soon for you guys, because that is something I think people are sleeping on. Greninja is the most popular Pokemon in a poll in 2018 or 2019. I think he is going to be the Charizard of the next generation. I just think he's super cool. He's a frog. He's a ninja. How can you not love that? But I was buying up those rainbow singles for less than $20 a piece. I think I bought 8 of them, but then I'm going to grade them anyways, because the difference between now they're worth, I don't even know, I haven't checked, 60 to 100, but graded a PSA 10 is $350 to $500. So I'm still doing this sort of forced appreciation in those. And that is going to be the last way, and also probably the best way. You do have to know what you're doing, so I wouldn't recommend starting with here. You definitely got to get familiar with the market, watch eBay listings, kind of see how things play out, learn how to grade cards, learn as much as you possibly can. But I do think that is the best way to make money. But I'm also hedging my bets with some sealed product in the meantime. Subscribe for more videos like this one, and I also cover other topics if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll hope to see you in the next video.